Okay, family, it's Brother Mike X. We still, we out here. Oh, this is Ferncliff Cemetery. This is where Brother Malcolm is buried, in Ferncliff Cemetery in Ardsley, New York. If you wanted to come out here and pay homage, for yourself, MapQuest, GPS, Google it, throw it in there. Ferncliff Cemetery, Ardsley, New York. Please, do so, if you feel compelled to do that. I just wanted to wrap up. We're getting ready to leave. So I want to leave you with some closing thoughts, Right now you're on YouTube and you're checking out, my YouTube channel, Brother Mike X Speaks. Malcolm X is all over YouTube, I pointed you to his autobiography, and you should definitely take advantage of reading that. But also, there's tons of information and tons of videos, of speeches, that Malcolm gave over his lifetime. Punch in, go to YouTube, you're on YouTube, go to Malcolm X, punch it up, and I'm sure that a wealth of information will pop up. Take advantage of that. One of the main powers that we have as black people, we might not be rich, we might not have all the resources that some other races have, but one of the things that we do have is we have our minds, we have our mouths, and if we empower ourselves with information, we can begin to speak out against injustice. We can begin to speak out against racism and inequality. We can begin to speak up for the creation of some real unity and harmony, amongst our people, so that we can begin to be respected in this world, the way other peoples are respected in this world. One of my favorite speeches, by Malcolm, was called the Ballad of the Bullet speech. And in the beginning of the Ballad of the Bullet speech, he begins to talk about the necessity for us to begin to come together and use our unity so that we can control the politics of our community, so that we can control the economics of our community. Malcolm said that we should be in control, or at least have significant say-so on everything that's involved in our community. It shouldn't be where the politicians in our community are not respecting the people who've elected them. It shouldn't be where the businesses in our community, where 99% of those businesses are owned and operated by outside forces. And like Malcolm said, and at sundown, they take the basket full of money that we put into their cash registers, they take it to some other part of the town and use the money that we spend in their stores to make them and their people strong, where we remain in communities where the jobless rate is out of control, where we don't have, the schools are not funded and not run to help us, where we don't have after school, where there's so many problems that need to be taken care of. There's no money for it. But the money that we spend immediately goes out of the community into another, into another part of the town to help other people. It shouldn't be that way, Everything that's in our community should benefit us first and foremost. The way where if you went to Chinatown, Chinatown has been situated in a way where it benefits the people who live there. You go to Little Italy. Little Italy is set up in a way where it benefits the people who live there. But when you go to black neighborhoods across this country, a lot of times in the grassroots, in the inner cities, those communities are set up in ways where everybody is benefiting but us, and it shouldn't be that way. It definitely shouldn't be that way. And we shouldn't be dependent upon anybody else to come in to save us. That's one of the problems with us. We're looking for somebody else to come in and ride in and do something for us that, apparently we believe we're not supposed to be doing for ourselves. That was one of Brother Malcolm's greatest gifts to us. He showed us a life that was totally dedicated towards the uprising and the strengthening and the empowerment of our people. And on that note, I'm going to thank you for sticking with me. I say again, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Please help me to start this dialogue and to strengthen this dialogue for us to share these ideas with each other. Our community is in trouble. It's definitely in trouble. Like I said a little while ago, I've worked with young people for the last 20 years, and there's a crisis amongst our young people. I said a crisis, not a problem. I'm talking about a crisis. Our young people are headed for failure, and a lot of the reason why they're headed for failure is because we, as the adults, haven't gotten our act together to provide them with leadership, to provide them with love, and positivity. Because we haven't done that, we have what's called a subculture amongst our young people, a subculture that is anti-education, anti-mainstream, anti-discipline, anti-authority, and anti-life, because when you go through that process of being anti-education, you can only exist on the lower levels, the uncivilized levels, the levels of the wildlife, the animals. As a matter of fact, I might be disrespecting the wildlife and the animals by saying that, because a lot of times they show more class, on their lower level than we show as this supposedly being human beings. But when you're anti-education, and anti-discipline, and anti-morals, and anti-authority, you have to continue on that path to eventually become anti-life. Life means nothing anymore. And this is why a lot of times wherever black people reside in numbers, man, the level of, black on black killings, man, is out of control, And the only way for we're going to be able to stop that is to go back that other direction, to become knowledgeable about our culture, knowledgeable about our past, our rich past, gain some love and respect for being black. Let's not continue to exist on the levels of being niggas and bitches and minorities and all of that. No, reclaim your culture, reclaim your heritage, become proud of being black. You know what I mean? And don't let nobody convince you that that's not a worthy goal. So on that note, I'm going to say peace, and, I wish you success and strength and empowerment, and let's do it together. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm signing off. Brother Mike X Speaks. Catch you next time.